Hello everybody, welcome to our group video presentation. Today we have an exciting topic to explore regarding political attitudes and behavior. In this video, we will compare and contrast political attitude and behavior between France and Germany. But to begin with that, we must understand what is political attitude and behavior. By definition, political attitudes refer to an individual belief, value, opinion, and overall orientation toward political issue, parties, and leaders. This political attitude encompasses their political viewpoint and influence their political behavior, whether it's their ideology leaning, policy preferences, or judgment on the political system. Political attitude can be shaped by many factors, whether their surrounding, personal experience, socialization, education, and the exposure to new information. Political behavior, on the other hand, illustrates the actions such as activities, involvement, and political participation. This political behavior ranks from voting, political rally, protest, political campaign, joining interest group, lobbying, and among other forms of political engagement or participation. Most of its influence comes from individual political attitude and their personal perceptions. Therefore, this has led us to identify the compare and contrast between France and Germany political attitude and behavior. While Germany and France share some fundamental similarities in their political systems, there are notably differences in political attitude and behavior of their citizens.
Political attitude refers to the individual belief or opinion about the politic, party, and ideology. This reflects their stand on different political matters, which can shape their political behavior. Not to mention, this attitude influenced by the political ideology in which how society should be organized. And while the society should be organized, people, they think the impact to their interests as well. For example, there are 6 parties represented in Germany, such as the center-right CDU, the center-left SPD, the right-wing AfD, the left party, the leftist Green, and last but not least, the liberal Free Democrats. But I will provide you the 2 parties, the conservative center-right CDU. The CDU is the most nationalist political party and the one that supports the connection with NATO or European Union blocs. CDU adopted a welcoming stand toward refugees and saw immigration as a crucial to Germany's future. However, the majority of the Germans still raises the idea of US citizenship, and there is still heavy party in fighting on a specific immigration policy, especially the AfD party that focusing on Islam and immigration, seeing Islam as alien to German society as well as anti-Euro party as well. Also influenced by the society in terms of cultural, religious, different group of people that related to their identity. It's illustrated that people tend to view their attitude in different ways. However, for the political behavior, the action that people express their political attitudes through vote, participate in political campaign, join the organization, or engage in political discussions. All are the political behavior. As I mentioned earlier, in Germany, there are several political parties in which people can engage their political behavior through voting, participating, or engaging based on their interests. For example, in Germany, people attitude, trust, or think that new media is significant for them and can lead, this attitude can lead to the behavior as they trust in the new media, so they might use those media. For instance, 61% of German adults consider a new media very important to the society, and around 64% say that they really trust a new media and showing their support to those media as well. So the second point is about the political culture. Political culture refers to all shared value, belief, attitude, or behavior that shape a political system and interact within a society. In the case of Germany, political culture has been influenced by the historical events, democratic tradition, and societal norms. Germany is considered as a federal and parliamentary democracy, for example, with these political rights and civil liberty, as well as free and fair federal elections. In Germany, they also have the kind of political participation as well as the freedom of expressions and belief as well. So these are the political culture in Germany. The third point is about the political efficacy. that refer to the individual belief of their ability to understand or participate in political process effectively. That one action can make a difference or shape the political outcomes. The efficacy can happen in terms of the engagement of the citizen through the personal experience, especially in public institutions, perception and fairness, treat with the respect and the decision making.
According to the study that conducted by the foundations, Westermans or Staffong, in collaborations with the Dutch Market Research Institutes, have reported that there are 52% that have no confidence in their government body, and 39% of the young Germans express their confidence in democracy. The study surveyed Germany aged around 18 and 70 and compared them to data from the 9 other countries, which showed the 9% higher than the average of the European country that surveyed, and while receiving the 32% of the young Germany that have trust in a government due to the lack of political power as a use and a new policy of the old or conservative government. The fact that by the reason why they believe on the old generation rather than the young generations and prioritize them is firstly, they think that the young people interest don't have a chance in government without support of older generations, such as the debate surrounding the issues of the climate protections, which is considered once important issues to the young people. Secondly, in September 26 elections, could offer the oldest ever candidate for the chancellor receive the opportunity to lay the groundwork for change. In theory, the older people can use their political influence to support their interests of their children and grandchildren. In practice, it is a political illusion to believe that it will happen. Just is not an illusion, it's a danger that striving for the stability will end in stagnation. Next is about the political knowledge. Political knowledge in Germany show a widespread and sound conviction that democracy does not assert itself due to its intrinsic virtue, but it must be constantly supported by the education to democracy. When we comes up with political knowledge, we talk about the knowledge about democracy, the political system in that one specific country. Capable of forming campaigns, the citizen and both collectively in terms of the ability to engage in a participatory and exclusive practice and is get involved to defend one value. On the last March this year, the 14th political education conference was held in the capitals of Germany, attended by more than 1,000 people. That is official from the state agency at all levels, including youth policy, association, worker, scholar, and the teacher that would discuss the roles of emotions in politics and society. This focus on the world that is above of all environmental issues, including their political and education system in Germany, that is focused on environmental issues, Europe and neighbors historical, including France, Portland, about their traditional enemies of the past history, and the country with a youth exchange program that has been underway of this year. Next is about political participation. So political participation in Germany, is also related with the political knowledge, because when we talk about political knowledge, we will relate it with the political participations of the German citizen, especially the youth and the old remains as a one driving force that have involved politically in Germany, such as joining the party, members of the Bundestag, active outside the parliament, mainly protest or support for the climate protection. At the present, there are 50% of the 736 members of the parliament that are under the 30 years of age, mostly are the young generation. The young branch of the political parties are youth organizations. The largest are the Church Union, which is linked with the Christian Democracy Union, which is in short word is CDU, and the Christian Social Union in Bavaria, which is the CSU. So CDU is a second largest political party in Bundestag. The CDU could be said that it's the largest political youth organization in Europe, that is around 90,000 members, and the Young Socialists or the Social Democratic Party of Germany, which is the SPD, also the largest Marxist party in Europe. The oldest political party in Germany and is still close tied with the worker of this year. The SPD have more than 70,000 members, while the Green Youth, which is another union that have around 16,000 active members, which is including the Young Liberal. that totally around 16,000 members. Moreover, there is also a youth group in human rights organizations such as Amnesty International, active youth members on the trade union youth sections of the Federation of Germany Trade Union, which is the DGB, which have around 500,000 young members that age up to 37 years who are actively involved to stand for the youth interests. Next is about what made democracy in Germany work. Democracy in Germany reflecting the rule a stable system founded on the rules of law. Germany scored for democratic quality, receiving the ranking 7th in the international comparison, and this score is depend on their transparency concern, the law bar party, free media, diverse ownership, civic right, political liberty, non-discrimination law, and moreover, it's also including their electoral process, their civic rights and political liberty, and the rule of law. The electoral process are including the compete for the seat sphere as a free and fair of the candidacy procedures, open for media access, freedom, media pluralism, and moreover, they also providing as a funds to the party by the state funding, membership fee, donations, and sponsorship. Moreover, the government also providing open access on the government information as well. The civic right and political liberty in Germany are free, with a non-discrimination, even if sex, race, language, ethnic origin, disability, faith, religious belief, or political convention that is equally important and have the same right. Lastly, it's about rule of law, with the Germany Basic Law on the legal certainty, stated that the legislatures shall be bound by the constitutional order, the executive and the judicial by the law and justice. The judge that appointed by the independently and effectively protects the individual against the encroachments by the executive and legislatures. The Federal Constitutional Court ensures that all state institutions uphold the Constitution. The appointments of the judge, which is the federal judges, are jointly appointed by the minister overseeing the issues and the committee for the elections of judges, which is consists the state minister responsible for a sector and equal numbers of members of voter stage. The corruption is the most key point that we should concern, that democracy in Germany can work due to the one big factor is corruption prevention. There are the numbers of issues that have been raised by the countries of the Europe group staged against the corruption. However, they also complain about the corruption in Germany, reported to conclude that Germany have a satisfactorily implemented or deal in a satisfactory manner with only 3 of the 8 recommendations, and therefore the current levels of the complaint remain global anti-satisfactory. Since the publications of the complaint report by the Council Europe Group of the State Against Corruptions, the future direction of Germany political attitude and behavior, it can be viewed and had an unruly state to the year, with a farmer protest, draft links the government, a budget crisis, fire ridings, high to a polls, and a new popularist party that have further splintered the political landscape. Germany's current political challenges could reflect the future directions of Germany's political attitude. For the first one is about the protest culture in Germany. The great protest culture in Germany could be led to the farmer blocking, street with their tractor or voter switching, their support to the far-right alternative for Germany, which is the AfD, have a voice in the parliament. The economic outlook for this year does not make the government task any easier, which is growth is expected to remain with a below average that advance the economy as a deal with a high energy cost, strict limit on borrowings, and long-term structural problems that like the labor shortage. Second is about discontents in coalitions of the Free Democratic Party in Germany party. This year kicked off with a membership vote within the Free Democratic Party on whether it should stay in coalitions. The vote highlights discontent among the coalition by party based due to the painful compromise that they have been no make. It would not make sense for any party to leave the coalitions as they would all stand to lose vote and power. They are increasingly having to convince their own membership, of their commitment to their own party principle to stop their coalition from the falling party. 4. The rise of populism. Germany, two traditionally largest parties, the Social Democratic Party (SPD) and opposition conservative, have lost a lot of support in recent years. Now others are seeking to create a new populist party, further splintering the political landscape. Sarah Wagenknecht, an icon of Germany far left, launched her own party on Monday. Last week, Hans-Georg Maassens, a former domestic security official popular with anti-migration voter, also said that he would launch a new party as well. Lastly is about the electoral test. The EU parliamentary election and the district vote in half of Germany's 16 states on June 9 will test the political mood. A strong show of the support for the populist party could lend them greater legitimacy. It could also affect the policy, which is the local politicians have a significant say over green energy projects, so they could slow down the transitions to a carbon-neutral economy. The AfD is currently tracked to win. The election could lead to the minority state government. It's given the fragmentations of the political landscape and possibly even one led by the AfD. Migration is expected to remain a big topic this year as a mainstream politician seek to a wedge stall in the way from the populist party. Men, film and politicians are nervously bracing for the presidential election in allies of the United States in November 5, which could have significant repercussions for Germany's security and business interests. Politically, that has already stalling the military aid for Ukraine to help strike Russian invasions, putting a greater burden Europe to sustain and even step up the assistance. Germany and Europe's largest economy could be the second biggest provider of military aid to Ukraine after the United States. German firms are also nervous of a possible increase in United States protectionism if the former President Donald Trump were re-elected.
In this part, we will talk about the politics in France. Regarding political behavior, France has two political party system, the left wing and the right wing. The right wing consists of Republican parties, and the left wing consists of socialist, communist, and social democratic parties. The election in 2024, the far however, it created a bad sign for marginalized groups in the countries. The migrants expressed their concerns regarding French election, and it indicates that the far-right supporters are not happy with the foreigners working and living in their countries. Moving on to political behavior, the protest culture can be traced back to the history of French Revolution in 1789. Until nowadays, French citizens and their government normalized the practice and accept it as their culture. Moreover, France has a long tradition of public debate that aim to give the public, the citizens, a voice in the decisions impacting them. Next, the political attitude is a form of social identity marking membership of certain groups that share a common struggle for a certain form of power. In France, it consists of many groups of ethnicities dominated by French native and migrants from such as Algerian, Portuguese, Moroccan, Italian, Spanish, Turkish, and various sub-Saharan African ethnic groups. There is also a significant presence of people from Indochina and the Middle East. Then the political culture. French political culture is greatly influenced by economic, social, and geographical characteristics of France. First, geography in France consists of fertile soil plus the agriculture sector of France as well as the economic. Second, nationalism is an important factor that contributes to France's political culture, where French people has pride and love within their country. However, the relationship between the government and citizens is not very good, resulted mistrust within the political system. Last but not least, the political culture in France built form political conflict between the right wing and the left wing in consensus. Now let's talk about French politics transformation, which also contributed to the political culture. Starting from 1789, France had a revolution which brought down monarchy regime. The revolutionary executed King Louis XVI. The revolutionary was extremely violent, which to the point that National Assembly abolished the monarchy and declared the First Republic. Then enter Napoleon Bonaparte regime, which rose to power during the French Revolution. Later, he crowned himself as the king. The regime was later on couped by revolutionary, followed by many other revolutions until France reached another era called Belle Epoque, or La Belle Epoque, was when it began to be considered a continental European golden age. It was a period characterized by optimism, enlightenment, regional peace, economic prosperity, colonial expansion, and technological, scientific, and cultural innovations. Last but not least, regarding political efficacy, nearly 40% of French respondents said they were somewhat interested in politics in 2022. As mentioned previously, French citizens involved with public debates and vote and express their view on social media. Protest is common in France, where you might have high chance of seeing protest activities on your vacation in France. Whereas the government respond to demand, from protester perspectives, they said that the government didn't care about their people, which resulted in violence, oppression, and also racism among protesters and the polices.
So for the next part, I will present you guys with the political interest and knowledge, political participation, what made democracy work, and also the future direction for political attitude and behaviors in France. First thing first, political interest and knowledge and political participation. So basically, France has traditionally been characterized by a high level of political interest. Particularly, it is quite obvious during significant election and movement of social mobilization. However, there are concerns about declining political interest among younger generation who may feel disconnected from traditional political institutions. This trend underscore the importance of promoting political education and civic engagement from an early age. For example, initiatives such as the Education for Citizenship program in school aim to foster greater political awareness and critical thinking among students, preparing them to actively participate in democratic processes in their society. Additionally, France has a rich history of political participation that encompasses various forms such as voting, joining political parties, and engaging in protests and social movement. Voters' turnout in national election is normally high in France, reflecting strong civic engagement. Aside from this, France is known for its vibrant civil society with numerous associations and also advocacy groups that play a very significant role in shaping public discourse and the policy-making process in society. Second, what made democracy work? Democracy effectiveness in France is underpinned by some specific factors. Firstly, a robust political cultures that value democratic principles such as freedom of expression, rule of law, and equality is a very fundamental driving force to democracy effectiveness in France. French society places a strong emphasis on republican values and civic responsibility, which contribute to the legitimacy and stability of democratic institutions. Secondly, France's institutional framework, including a semi-presidential system with check and balances between the executive, legislative, and judicial branches, ensure accountability and prevent the concentration of power. Additionally, an independent judiciary and a free press play significant roles in safeguarding democratic freedom and holding authority accountable. Last but not least, future direction for political attitude and behavior in France. So basically, there would be some possible direction to strengthen political attitude and behaviors in France. One key specific area is enhancing political education and media literacy to equip the citizen with the skill to navigate a complex political landscape and critically evaluate information. Initiative to promote digital literacy and combat misinformation can empower the citizen to make informed choices and participate more actively and directly in the decision-making process in society. Additionally, enhancing inclusivity and diversity in political representation is significant to ensure that all voices are heard and considered in the political agenda. More than that, effort to engage younger generation and underrepresented group through targeted outreach and support for grassroots initiative can also stimulate democratic participation and renew trust in political institutions among French citizens.